What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about GTA 6 and the Series S. This is something that we've kind of talked about in passing, and I feel it was going to get really interesting, and it still might. I mean, there's still room for drama and things to happen, but as we get closer and closer and closer to GTA 6, I imagine some of the Series S stuff would start to pick up, right? Just because, whether you want to believe them or not, the narratives that go around with the Series S, right? With the performance and if it holds games back, if it doesn't. They're interesting talks. I truly believe they're interesting. I think, it really is something we're going to have to see in the next console generation if Xbox were to do that again. I personally don't think they will, but they honestly might. Who knows? But we actually got a nice little quote talking about GTA 6 and the Series S, and it sounds pretty okay. It sounds like the game is going to be fine and will come out on the Series S. Now, again, there's still room for things to happen, but this was something I can tell you I was genuinely curious on. I mean, honestly, I have a Series X. I don't have an S. So it wouldn't really impact me in the first place, but it was something thinking about it where it's like, yeah, this is going to be a game I imagine that really does push consoles. You have narratives already going around that like the base PS5 won't even be able to play GTA, and that's something I never really believed. Yeah, the PS5 Pro might be the best like console experience for it just because of like the technology, but like you're not going to have the game not come out on PS5, right? Like it's got to come out on the places that people play these games, and that brings me to this, right? So actually they were asked legitimately by an investor about the Series S and about like if there's going to be problems and stuff, and he said they will continue supporting platforms as long as consumers were on them. Despite different levels of tech, the team will find a way to support platforms. He said he's not worried about hardware advancements and doesn't worry about things he has zero control over. He believes in the audience, and if the audience shows up for their properties, they have to make sure to be on an array of platforms. So by the looks of it, GTA 6 should be fine on the Series S. And I believe he like said almost quote unquote like he thinks it should be okay. And I don't think okay is in like, oh, it'll just run okay. I think he has confidence in it. And I will say that is the kind of attitude that you like to see. It's also interesting because this might very well dispel a lot of the narratives, right? Like, I don't know. I go back and forth. There are some times, because you'll see it from developers. I mean, there's outright developers that have come out and said, yes, the Series S, like, legitimately hurts development. Like, when you have to make a game for the Series S, that flat out hurts it. And then now there's been other rumors that have kind of stemmed from that where it's like, okay, is this why Black Myth was delayed on Xbox because of the Series S? There's been times where it's been kind of curious and been like, yeah, is the Series S the reason why companies aren't putting games on Xbox right away? Because there is like a legitimate thing in the contracts of whatnot that if you make it for Xbox, you got to make it for both. It's got to run on Series S, and maybe like companies don't want to do. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that gets more into the speculation. I think it's fun speculation, but it is speculation. But there are developers that have come out, like legitimately many of them, that have said like, yeah, it is a problem in the industry. So I'm not calling them liars or anything. I'm saying I wonder what GTA 6 will do to it, right? Because is it a time issue? Is it a money issue? Because one thing that Rockstar is a little bit different is, they have a lot of money and they're kind of relying on GTA 6. And GTA 6, I don't know if you know, is going to make a little bit of money. So they're going to put it on the platforms that people are going to buy it from, right? It will come out on Xbox. It will come out on Play. It's not going to be a timed exclusive. And, a lot of people in the Xbox ecosystem do have a Series S. I think they did. There was a thing that talked about like the sales split of it. I think it's somewhere around 50-50. It might be 60-40. But like you got tens of millions that have the Series S. You can't just ignore it. And if you do ignore it, you might be, losing a couple million sales. Rockstar's not going to do that, right? So, okay, well, what does that mean? And see, again, this is where we might find out stuff, right? Do we hear from Rockstar that, yes, we did put it out on Series S, and yes, we got it to work, but it was a freaking nightmare? Like, do we hear that? I'm not saying like that is the case. Do we hear that? Do we hear them saying, yeah, that was difficult? Like, I can see why companies have problems putting on Series S because we had problems too. We just have time and money. We have more than some of the other publishers out there. That could happen, right? We don't really know, but it's something that I'm excited for the game, okay? And I'm going to play. I'm playing it on PS5 anyway. And again, I don't even have have a Series S. But, you know, I'm into different things in the gaming industry. I'm into that conversation, and it has ramifications. Like, if it does legitimately cause Xbox to lose games, it is something worth talking about. If Xbox does or doesn't do 2 consoles in the next generation, you know, the Series S probably played a role in that. So it is important, even if people like maybe don't care about it. I can understand not caring about it, but I think it does have ramifications. But there you go. If you have a Series S and you're worrying about GTA blowing it up, or you're worrying about it like a PS5, etc., it seems like it's going to be fun. And I believe that, right? You're gonna, for a game like this, they're going to put it out on as many places as possible, and they're going to put it out as well as working condition as possible on all these places. They want tens of millions of sales. They're going to get that kind of no matter what, and they're not going to hurt that in any way. I think it's going to be like a learning opportunity for a lot of us to kind of hear, like, okay, well, what was BS? What was actually truthful? Like, what does it take to have a game really work and really run well on Series S? Like, what is it, right? We might get answers because of GTA 6, right? So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure, as always, you're subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on. I hope to see you all on the next one.